And here we go again.
Somebody laughing at Nazi teeth. What's going on?
I'm tossing some people into a crowd. So, I will freely admit this video is kind of an accident, and you'll try and spot why by about midway through or so. As in, I kind of didn't intend to do what I eventually ended up doing. But hey, it's our old friend Katerina.
We send orders via carrier pigeon.
Thank you, Machiavelli.
Bartolomeo sends his apologies. The French have doubled their assault.
And now we're kind of setting up the next sequence, I think, is what we do next.
We can either go after supplies or Cesare's followers.
My plan is to attack both. If we cut off his funds, Cesare will lose his army and return without his men.
So yeah, as we mentioned in the previous
just like the guy like just moshing
Cesare.
Punching the desk.
What? Yeah, the next sequence is going to be going after the Pope's money, and the sequence after that is going after the French troops. So we've kind of got a plot arc ahead of us.
Bene, I will follow up on that lead.
French soldiers are guarding the road back into the Castello.
But yeah, as we mentioned in the previous update, Cesare is out fighting in Romagna right now. He currently has basically no idea what's going on, but, well, we'll see him very briefly in a few videos, but basically he doesn't have any clue what's going on at the moment. And we intend to keep it that way.
There is a side entrance. Lucrezia's latest plaything, Pietro, has a key.
He was at the Castello.
Come see me later. I will have my thieves ascertain his location.
Ah, la Volpe, always with the hand gestures.
Yay. Bunch of low-level scrubs, because they all keep dying.
Hey, not my fault.
At least they're starting to. You're starting to get some that are better. That is good. But you still got 5 slot.
The thing... Yeah, because we still haven't liberated a considerable amount of Rome, mainly because I can't actually get to a lot of places. There's like 3 districts entirely that I can't enter at all. And yeah, as a general rule, you want to start out small with assassin recruits, so you send them on these little small diamond missions. As a general rule, I don't like to take risks with my recruits. I like having at least about 90% chance of finishing a mission. Usually I go with 95% or 100%. But the more assassins you assign to a mission, the experience they get from it halves by each.
No, it's split evenly, so it halves the first time. It splits it into thirds the second, quarters after that. So.
I did not know that.
I don't think you can send 5. So.
But yeah, just like in Assassin's Creed 2, we get little model viewers for the machines we just spent the last
Look how empty your armor cabinet is. Yeah.
It's shameful, really. It's the flying machine. There was one in Assassin's Creed 2.
Does that one have a cool-ass rocket bomber?
It did not. It was really a shame.
To be fair, that was more like a slapdash thing that we put together at the last minute.
Wow, we only have one painting.
Yeah, I should change that. Well, it's not like paintings do anything in this game.
Yeah, paintings do absolutely nothing in this game. I mean, they didn't do anything.
They gave you a little bit of money on the... A very little bit of money.
Well, I think they do in this game, too, to be fair, but... really, it's just another money sink kind of thing.
So down here is, of course, the Assassin Hall, where we have... Well, eventually have, like, ceremonies and shit. Mostly ceremonies.
Yeah. You'll get when an assassin recruit is ready to reach the final level, you'll get a special pop-up that tells you such and such is ready for to be promoted to assassin. You go back to your hideout, you trigger a little cutscene, and then They're assassin rank, which means they pretty much can't ever die.
So now it's kind of interesting, but over here, and I don't know if we ever showed that off, but that door over there goes to the roof of this building, and then of course you have the entrance to the sewers for fast travel. But
that building doesn't exactly go to the roof. It leads up to like a little balcony where you can access a pigeon coop for easy access, but that is where it goes. Yes.
I wish you would stay.
You are the leader of the assassins now. Unite them, Ezio Auditore, and take back Roma. Vittoria agli assassini!
And we never saw Caterina again.
Vittoria agli assassini.
She will be referred to. She is referred to somewhat in Revelations, but yeah, that's basically the last time you'll ever see her. And that's finally the end of sequence 4, I think. Yeah.
Yay! Now we got to go cheat. Principe Serena the Castle is the name of the Costello. Sorry, is the name of that achievement, which is a great one.
Yes.
The Vanker.
Because we couldn't have just one Mario reference in this game, or any game really.
Look, the Mario reference died in like the first 10 minutes. What are you complaining about?
You hurt someone pulling stunts like that.
Well, the Mario reference was still in this game very briefly, but yes. Anyway, Sisterhood cheat just does exactly what you think it does. All your assassin recruits become female.
Hey, we got money. Let's go spend it.
Time to get rid of this really crappy sword. Yeah, they really don't give you new armor and weapons very fast.
You can pretty much unlock the best armor in the game. Well, you can unlock almost the best armor in the game. But hey, we finally have a full complement of armor. Every slot is now filled. It only took to sequence 5. That's not because you were fucking around, it's just because it literally won't actually...
Ooh. Now here's something. We have never left the Animus until now. You actually do have to leave the Animus at some point, because at a certain point you can't leave it anymore and you get locked out of a couple achievements.
So you could be doing this a little bit more frequently, but it's still pretty fun to do.
Yeah.
What happened to
Oh yeah, here we get the real-life history behind Caterina's disappearance.
Thank you, Sean.
Pneumonia.
Oh yeah, my recording, I have no idea what happened. My recording started screwing up around that point. Unfortunately, I lost a whole bunch of cutscenes, but oh my god, I was not going to play the first 4 sequences of the game just to get a few...
You can look them up on YouTube.
1 or 2 minute cuts.
Did you at least get the examine the statue of Altair? Did that get fucked up?
What's special
if you
about
look
it?
At it? It's like it's it's Altair, and then everybody complains about you being racist.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool. I never knew about that at all.
So, like before in the start of this game, you can run around Monteriggione during the night. You have a time limit to do so. There really isn't much to do in Monteriggione.
Yeah, there's basically nothing at all.
There's literally one thing to do, and I'm sure we'll be getting to it sooner or later. But unfortunately, the upper ramparts are all closed off, and you really can't get up there. The hole behind... you may run by it, but the hole where you went down to go find the entrance to the dungeon thing, catacomb thing, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Has been sealed off. So basically, you just have this quiet little town where some madman is running around on the roofs, doing who knows what. In fact, he's actually coming here to go plunder the town's treasures. For example, there was a cape on the church. And doing so will actually earn you an achievement. This is literally the only reason to come out here.
Yeah. There are five
artifacts, and you only need to collect one of them for the only achievement for coming out here.
Yes. But even so, I want to show off where all 5 of them are. Now, the thing is, there are 3 artifacts that are hidden out in the city, including the one we just picked up. There are 2 at the villa. One of them is really dickishly hidden, and I completely forgot about where it was until I had to look it up on the internet.
I happen to remember where that one was, so I found it immediately. Over there is where the Auditory Crypt was in Assassin's Creed 2, the special DLC bonus dungeon that you get from Uplay. Yeah. Still nice that it's actually there. And that sword in the stone. Hey, it's a Mario. It's a Mario. My Italian accent is absolutely horrible, practically non-existent. Probably because I'm Slovak. And then over there we have... I forget what this is. Right now we're walking on top of where the brothel used to be.
Ezio's belt, naturally.
Yep. That is actually a really quite hidden reference, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in 30 seconds, you're going to have to go run back in.
And we get to have a cutscene with Lucy first. Now, this is the longest night in the history of the world because the entire course of this game takes place over a single night. And the thing is, the reason for the time limit is they want you to be back inside when the sun comes up in 10 minutes, apparently. But you can just keep leaving and re-entering Monteriggioni outside, and it'll keep being 10 minutes until sunrise. So basically, we're caught in a time vortex here.
She would never give up.
I guess I trained you pretty well, huh?
You did all right.
Did you at least order the takeout food to get that cutscene?
I don't remember anything like a takeout scene.
There's so many good cutscenes.
Yeah, no,
he doesn't have time for chit chat. He has enough time to order. They order takeout and eat it while you're in the Animus, and you wake up and you're like, "Hey, where's the food?" And they're like, "Over there." And then you munch on it.
So, do you just have to stare at the Altair statue?
You examine it. You can examine it. So, I don't know.
You know, before this thread is done, I may just go back and re-record some of these Monteriggioni scenes because they really are pretty nice, and we don't see too much of the old Assassin's crew during the course of this game otherwise. So why not? Aside from the very end of it, and that's all I'll say for now.
Breakfast is yeah, there's a lot of nice little character building here that goes on in here. And so...
Guy Fawkes, 23.
Yes, well, hey, there we go. So, Erudito is that actually does show up in other places. It is not the only time Erudito actually is mentioned. Before you read that email, by the way, you can't actually access anybody else's account. Once you do that, they tell you it. You just get a little access denied thing pop up. But once you read it, then you have access.
The email about the schedules?
Yeah. But Erudito shows up as... I think they started in one of the Facebook or Initiates games. Yeah. But they also have a role in... not Liberation. What am I? Oh God!
I can't speak about Liberation, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. Yes, they have they have a role in Liberation where.
Spoiler alert: Rebecca's a Templar. So, sorry to spring that on you so suddenly, but if Sean says it, it's got to be true.
Well, I love that. It's like, where was my MP3 player? My nightstand. Oh, God.
You know, I laugh at that, but more than once I have lost things that were right on top of my bed just because they were covered up by a blanket or something.
No.
I don't think
Rebecca's MP3 player was on Sean's nightstand.
Oh,
because Sean, the implication is that Sean took the MP3 player because he's a dick.
Well, we don't need any more convincing Sean is a dick.
Yeah,
but he's a well-meaning dick.
Yeah. So. The other thing is that for liberation.
The anger of the Italian apes.
Erudito will actually show up in a couple spots during the course of the simulation as a NPC called Mr. E. And when you talk to him, they will correct a cutscene from a previous DNA sequence that had been, let's say, enhanced by Abstergo to be more Templar friendly.
Right.
As opposed to what actually happened. So without talking to him all times, you can't actually get the best ending, the real, true ending of the game. So it's a nice little thing.
And while you were jawing, we were introduced to a fellow named William M.
And who cares about that fucker?
Yeah, he's somebody. And one thing I do like is them talking about like the Osaka assassins and the Denver branch and stuff like that. Just because it gives you the impression you're not the only one doing important shit at the moment.
Right. It's not like they've accidentally trapped you into a hell of your own making, and you will die or get trapped in the Yanimas forever if you fuck up. Oh wait, that's Assassin's Creed Unity.
Right.
I'm kind of busy here.
So there's still 2 more artifacts.
Yeah, like I said, they're both at the villa, and that's why I couldn't find them, because I assumed all of them were out in the city.
Yeah.
That is not true. I got all the ones in the city on camera, as I just showed.
Yes. Broken armor. If your armor breaks, you're playing this game wrong.
Or you're just a person who really loves jumping off of buildings.
So,
but yeah, coming up from the last video, we got 5 parachutes, and now you can buy them from tailor shops. Parachutes aren't too useful. They're really nice if you're jumping off tall buildings and you don't want to die or have your armor break a whole bunch.
Yeah, they're a very situational use. There's an unfortunate glitch with them in this game where they will actually disappear if you go do certain missions. And then you have to go right by them. So
and if you change outfits, I think.
It's
like I think if you change into the Altair costume, it eliminates all your parachutes.
It's weird. Oh no! Don't do this.
Yeah, this is where this video started getting a bit off rails because I didn't want to do it at this point. Okay, the special icon there is for the restored sequence, which means the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC. Unfortunately, I didn't remember that and was wondering what that weird Rod of a Sepulchre icon was, and that's what it is. It's the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC.
Yes, the Da Vinci.
What was that?
So the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC. Let's see. Hey, WM.
WM. William M.
Yes. So the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC is actually takes. Unfortunately, you can see it's 1506. This is well after the main campaign.
Yeah, this is taking place after the Sequence 9.
So, spoiler alert for this game, and the fact that there's a Revelations. Ezio survives.
Salahi, is that you? It's you. I must be getting lazy in my old age.
But yeah, small spoiler alert, the final mission of this game does not take place in Rome, hence Leonardo's line just then.
I know a captain. He's very discreet. Hang on, I have the name recorded somewhere.
I actually think he had actually left Rome for something else.
Oh, this? A hobby of mine. Of course you are familiar with Pythagoras.
Our good friend Pythagoras. Pythagoras was a weird dude.
Who discovered many secrets about the heavenly spheres and our cosmos.
These symbols come from him.
He's just like, hey, squid plus B squid equals C squid?
I found symbols like them in the writings of the Pythagorean disciples.
He's a kooky guy and really he's kind of very interesting man.
The apple has been put to rest.
And yeah, again, they're talking about the apple. Well, it's not a spoiler because the entire framing device of this game is the modern day assassins know Ezio recovered the apple at some point, and they're trying to find out where he hid it.
Meaningless.
Correct.
But forget painting.
Well,
I made a
even
breakthrough in
still.
my research several days ago. A huge discovery. Salai, can
Yes.
you bring them?
And again,
No,
that
he's
very
not back.
same
I
apple was
intended
the
to
one that
accompany you to the
Altair
docks.
had
I
when he
cannot
went to
leave my workshop
Cyprus
without
and
my
recovered it from Al-Mualim at the end of Assassin's
Yes,
Creed
but
1.
but
I'm afraid you underestimate
it should be
Salai.
noted that Da Vinci has been exposed to the apple,
Wait and see.
regardless, but
Suit
in
yourself.
the villa
You will
during
likely
Assassin's
find him
Creed
at La
2.
Volta
That is
Tornigata.
correct.
So, him having it is not really a surprise at all.
So the apple. So we might have recounted this in a previous video or something. Maybe it was another thread. But okay, that particular apple first shows up in the Ark of the Covenant at the very start of Assassin's Creed 1. Al-Mualim takes possession of it for most of Assassin's Creed 1. Altair takes possession of it at the end of the game and hangs on to it for basically the rest of his life. Or no. Okay, that particular apple. What happened to that one? Did it stay in Masyaf all that time?
Yeah. He kept it and buried it with himself. And then a second one was found somewhere.
Di nuovo!
I told you those
Yeah.
dice were
Okay,
lucky.
there was a second one
I
on
wish you were as
Cyprus,
good
right?
as me.
Gian Giacomo.
John Jocko.
I do not answer to that name.
Salai.
That's literally like
Better,
John
but
John.
Not good enough.
God.
Yes! Di nuovo!
Leonardo, your master, requests your presence.
Let
Okay,
him
so
wait.
the assassins know that
No.
Altair had an apple, and that was the point of the framing device in Assassin's Creed 1. Altair kept that on his person more or less until the end of his life.
My church.
Then-
And afterwards.
Then, in one of the
Outside
spin-off
the kingdom abroad
games,
is the
he went to
realm of
Cyprus, there was an apple there. Or,
Worship there, mister?
yeah,
Yeah,
there-
they
there-
found the apple on
Come with me
Cyprus.
and find out.
And that's the one that went and ended up going back to Venezia.
yeah, and then
And
one
then
of the...
Forley then took a side trip
do
to
not
Florence.
depart.
Then went back to
Game is
Rome,
not
and then we
finished.
fist fought the Pope.
Sorry, but the
and
better offer has
we
arisen.
had it, and it blew up in Monteriggione.
Lead on,
and
Messer.
now Cesare has it.
Yeah,
And meanwhile, we got a bunch of dudes in hoods coming out of our fucking Assassinone Inn
3 men from the dice game follow
to
us.
attack
Be
us
quiet.
because
Why? Sentite! I am done
I
playing!
like how it's an utter mess here still. A decade after we rebuilt this place. So these are, I believe, the Hermetians. I believe that's their name.
Hermeticists.
Hermeticus, close enough. These guys are really nice.
These guys are special, and after this fight, we will show you why they are. Or I will show you why they are special.
I had mentioned these guys in a previous video at some point or another.
Yes, you did. We were talking about crafting materials or something.
Yes.
But again, I didn't mean to do this mission at this point because I like to keep things as roughly chronological as possible in these games.
Yeah.
And this,
There is only
as
one
we
man
mentioned,
in
takes
Roma
place
who-
I
after
wasn't
the
in Roma.
after the main
Must
story
be
is
Ezio
over.
Auditore.
Come. We need to return to Leonardo right away.
You do not
Basically,
talk
you
much,
have
do
the
you?
events of the Da
Fine.
Vinci disappearance,
I will
and
run
then
ahead.
after
We
he's
catch
done
up.
in Rome, he leaves for Constantinople, and that's the events of the Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yes. So Sai is about 26 at this point. I'm forgetting. And Leonardo's got to be closer to 50-ish, maybe 45, 40, 50.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's about. I think he's supposed to be close in age to Ezio.
Yeah, her Hermeticists.
Yeah. So they look a lot like La Volpe. They're not La Volpe.
Just mad.
They have nothing to do with La Volpe.
Nothing at all.
However, they carry really good shit.
Yeah.
Like Cardinal's purple dye. That is a relatively rare thing to find. It is not the rarest thing to find.
As we've mentioned, the rarest thing is the shrunken heads.
Supply the Impaler coins. Hey, you need those.
Yes, I do.
For a side quest. Another one. You need 8. You got 2 of them
But
already.
yeah, these guys always carry, I think, at least 1 crafting material on them, sometimes 2. But the point is, basically, any crafting material can show up on them, including aconite, but not shrunken heads. Shrunken heads are only found in 2 places in the entire game.
Hey,
Don't look for them anywhere else because they will not show up.
And now, fun fact: you can't actually fast travel in this mission, which should tip you off to the fact that there's going to be a bunch of these dudes attacking you throughout the mission. I think did you renovate the horse stable down there finally?
I think so. And another thing that bears mention, you cannot harm your assassin recruits in any way. So feel free to do what I'm doing and ride around slashing at people, because this is pretty funny.
Yeah. So the Hermeticists, unfortunately, have also managed to set basically a bunch of ambushes throughout the city on our way back to Leonardo for reasons that we have. They're just really good at predicting where the fuck we're going to be, I guess.
Well, it probably doesn't help Ezio goes around starting massacres everywhere he goes, but...
Right. Yeah, fuck that. Give me the fucking aconite, bitch.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah!
But yeah, aconite is the rarest thing these guys will drop, and it's pretty sweet when they do drop it.
Yeah, I think you need 1 or 2 pieces to do the only quest you have for it. Okay, you know.
Yeah, it's one less I have to find. Also, there are several crafting materials that aren't technically... Like, the jeweled headdress isn't used for crafting at all. It's just selling, but... You get so much money in this game by the end, there's really no point in selling them.
Hey!
These strangers do not quit.
Disciples wearing similar robes appeared once before. They sought an object.
He is referring to
You mean the piece
Savonarola at the end of the Forley DLC and
tells me everything.
the Florence, and the Florence DLC in Assassin's Creed 2.
I know the best route home.
Just a
I take
subtle
every
little
morning after
callback
the
there.
tavern's closed. Follow me.
What? Savonarola... But he was in a monk's outfit. And there's only one of him.
Well, it's still a callback. Also, that woman I grabbed there, well, I don't think it's her exactly. There is one generic NPC model that looks a hell of a lot like Madame Theodora, or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
How about some
Why not? Everyone in this game can climb as well as Ezio can.
Something important.
He's been exploring a hidden
got a ladder.
platform for years now.
Yeah, I mean, he has a ladder, but again, every generic NPC, including regular civilians and soldiers, have the exact same parkour moves you do. It's just they never show them off because they never go up on rooftops.
He actually gives coins to you.
More or less. What he does not know will not hurt him. Allora, you're from Firenze. Tell me more. Fine. I will use my imagination.
It's like...
I am not doing a really good sneaking job here. Aside from too early in the day means 30, 40 guys dead.
Leonardo discovered something in the catacombs.
He found the entrance to a temple. Something he read about in his books. I've not seen him that excited in years.
But yeah, the kooky temple they're talking about is obviously the endpoint for this DLC because an ancient temple has never been brought up in a video game without you visiting it at some point. It's like a rule.
Get them! Taste my blade! Attack! Get them! Taste my blade!
Of an ancient temple you don't end up visiting at some point.
Avoid their swords.
Yeah.
Knowing Leonardo,
I'm trying
suppose
to.
he spoke of his discovery to whomever would listen. Did you notice any robed men around him?
As I said, I'm pretty sure it's one of those video game rules that you always have to visit ancient
Ask the
temples.
master himself when we get there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one.
Might be here all night because it's a pretty common video game trope.
I know. Let me think. Trying to think if I can think of any in the E series that would have it.
It's okay, you can stop thinking. I'm pretty sure. Oh, look at that bar. He just shoved that woman. I think I was well within my rights to toss that one person right into him.
Yeah. I'll have to come back to it eventually.
Goodness.
Oh no.
Well, you know what I'm going to call this? I'm going to call this a flash forward.
Maestro!
Because that's exactly what it is.
No, he must
Yeah.
be here.
The temple he discovered. Where is-
Convenient that door that said we cannot go there at the current time because it's you did not
What you
visit
say,
here at
now
the
tell
time.
me where the temple is.
But maybe not.
I do not
I
know.
mean, we've already gone by it in the game.
Another thing about the Da Vinci DLC, including giving you these
That's
10 or so missions,
Something is
is
written on
that
the floor.
it also unlocked
What
all
does it
the
say?
pre-order content for this
cannot
game.
read.
So stuff like
Leonardo
trade.
promised to reach
There's a few Templar lairs that were
Yeah.
pre-order stuff,
Paintings.
and
wants us to
some
examine art?
multiplayer characters and
Remember
some
when
multiplayer
Leonardo
maps
believed
were
that
also
Juvila
included in
was
it.
researching
So it was actually a
the
pretty
Christian
big package for $10.
Several of his paintings hung in the gallery there. What do they
But
have to do with the
luckily,
temple?
because this is the
Perhaps the pages
HD
of his
re-release for the
research
current
are hidden in
generation,
one
it
of our
already
films.
has all this
The
DLC
paintings are
stuff on
gone.
it.
They all burned in the attack.
No, they did not. Only Leda and St. John, the Borgia, took the rest.
6 paintings.
5. I told the art merchant that portrait of a lady
Oh,
was by
Salai.
Leonardo. I needed the money for a doublet. Of course, now it has gone out of fashion.
Who has the painting?
And yeah, this
now?
does reveal that
Lucrezia
Lucrezia does
Borgia.
not die in the
In her
course of the
husband's
main
palazzo
plot.
outside Ferrara.
But,
Many
you know,
times I took
that's
back
historical
what was
stuff.
stolen.
She didn't die in the period Brotherhood takes place in.
Right. She just really wanted to bond
Yeah.
her brother and went insane.
And then, after the events of the game, she left the care of the Borgia and is living with her husband. And that's where we'll find her next, when we get back to the Da Vinci DLC stuff, which will not be for a very long time.
Yes. Oh, let's see. I was
Yeah.
feeling frisky.
This is a pretty nicely detailed area. It's probably the most detailed area of the game. Just in terms of like simple textures, not particularly architecture, because obviously the Pantheon or the Colosseum has it beat.
Buongiorno, madre.
Ezio, thank you for coming to see me.
What troubles the courtesans?
The old proprietor of this brothel, Madonna Solari, was a cheat and liar. Her ties to the church have been uncovered. Worse, several of those who work for us sleep with the enemy still.
Now, these unlock the courtesan
Visit the
missions.
girls I
There's
trust.
actually a
They will
lot
help
of these
you.
courtesan missions in the game, and
Grazie.
obviously I can't do them all in one video, so, you know, they'll be a bit spread out.
Yes.
What do you want?
You spoke of a senator at the meeting.
Find him on the Campidoglio. You do not need me.
Once I kill the banker, your girls must take his money back to the underground.
Fine.
Stay alert.
Ezio still really hasn't gotten over the entire his little sister is now running the biggest horror house in Rome. Quite frankly, I don't really blame him.
It is a bit of a shock. Now, I had wanted this video to be longer to include this mission with Edigio Troche, but actually this mission's bonus objective is pretty hard, and it took me several tries to do it, so we'll just have to get the little opening part here. Believe me, I'm.
Let's go up the.
I
Not
made
the
the
horse
same
ramp.
trip to the Campidoglio many times.
Just right up the staircase and put the horse down.
Hey, it looks like a ramp, so I'm gonna treat it like a horse ramp.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really is.
No more arguing.
An old man.
No,
The banker sent us to collect. I will have his money momentarily.
not good enough.
Never mind that. Let's read up on him.
You actually do hear his name mentioned by some of the NPCs in the game before this. Just
I actually didn't notice it.
weird-
Like generic NPCs.
But the heralds.
Cool.
Some of the I don't know if they reference him directly, but some of the stuff that he does is referenced in those.
All right.
All right.